Greetings everybody. Today I will be going over the unit circle and how to memorize this unit circle. Okay, a lot of professors or teachers in the day, they normally just say, oh, just memorize this unit circle, memorize cosine, tangent, sine. But I'm going to teach you a way to easily memorize this unit circle, okay? So to start, we're going to have to memorize 6, 4, 3, 3, 4, 6, 6, 4, 3, and 3, 4, 6. Okay? Now these are the denominators of the radians, okay? So that's just really easy. Just go around the circle and draw that. Whoops, let's move this over. Okay? Now, for the first quadrant, or the upper left portion of the circle, it's all just multiplying by pi in the numerator. I'm sorry. In the numerator, it's all times pi. Okay? Now, in the second quadrant, or the upper left portion of the circle, you take the denominator and subtract by 1. So 2 pi, 3 pi, and 5 pi. In the bottom left, or the third quadrant, you will add by 1. So 7 pi, 5 pi, 4 pi. And on the last quadrant, or the fourth quadrant, the bottom left, you will double minus 1. So double 3 is 6, minus 1 is 5. Double 4 is 8, minus 1 is 7. And double 6 is 12, minus 1 is 11. There you go. So now you have the radians around this unit circle. Okay? So how do you memorize the coordinates? Well, that's pretty simple too. Let me draw this. There's this point, and so notice this point is the point at which it touches the unit circle with a radius 1. Okay? So everything is divided by 2 here. Okay. Now starting from pi over 6, we're going to go root 3, root 2, root 1, and root 1 is just 1. Okay. Then going backwards, we're going to go root 3, root 2, root 1, and root 1 is just 1. So there you go. So now we know the first quadrant, it's got a positive x and a positive y. In the second quadrant, there's a negative x and a positive y. In the third quadrant, there's a negative x and a negative y. And in the fourth quadrant, there's a positive x and a negative y. Okay? So copying this over, we'll see that if you look at the denominator, you just copy that point. So 2 pi over 3 will copy down the pi over 3, but just make sure that your x is negative. So this is going to be negative 1 over 2, root 3 over 2. 3 pi over 4 will copy pi over 4, so it's going to be negative root 2 over 2, root 2 over 2. And then 5 pi over 6 will copy down the 6, so it's negative root 3 over 2, 1/2. There you go. Same thing for the third quadrant. We're going to, it's over 6, so we're going to copy the pi over 6 in the first quadrant, but both are negative now, so negative root 3 over 2, negative 1/2. This one's going to be negative root 2 over 2, negative root 2 over 2. And then the last part is over 3, so we're going to copy pi over 3, but negative, so negative 1/2, negative root 3 over 2. 5 pi over 3, we will have copy down pi over 3, so it's 1/2. And then negative y, so it's negative root 3 over 2. Positive x, negative y. Sorry for squishing that in there. And then 11 pi over 6 will copy down root 3 over 2, negative half. There you go. So there's the unit circle. So how I memorize all these coordinates, if somebody asks me, oh well, what's cosine of 7 pi over 6? Well, I look at the relationship between the 7 and the 6, and I notice, well, it's the denominator plus 1, so it must be the third quadrant. The third quadrant is negative x and negative y. So I know, and cosine represents the x coordinate, right? So I know it's going to be negative, and in pi over 6, it's root 3 over 2. It's root 3 over 2, 1/2, and we know they're both negative, right? Because it's in the third quadrant, and I am choosing the x coordinate because that's what cosine does. It takes the x coordinate, whereas sine takes the y coordinate. And that's how I can figure out quickly what the answer of cosine of a normal angle is. So I just look at the top, the numerator, look at the denominator, and try to compare the two and figure out which region they're in, the upper left, upper right, second quadrant, fourth quadrant, etc. So hopefully that helps you memorize your unit circle. I'll see you guys again soon.